What's good, YouTube? We're back today with a little follow-up video to the Dark Gaia Neo-Spacian video that I uploaded the other day. We've made some slight changes and sort of optimizations to the deck list, slimming things down a bit. I played a couple of matches with it last night, and it performed significantly better, so we're just going to be showing those off, and then at the end we're going to go over the deck list and sort of discuss some of my more honest final thoughts on the Dark Gaia deck. But first, we're going to hop into the matches. Here, we're up against a Vayu Turbo player first, who is just some rando I found on DB. Looks like we won our PS, so we're going to be going first. We have Rhoda for Stratos and Damali, set Wing Blast. Pretty standard kind of opening. Opponent, looks like they have Greffer Sirocco if they want to go for that. Which they will. They then Storm. I chain the Wing Blast. Wonder, it's kind of questionable they didn't Storm first. Maybe they're playing around Dust Shoot. But yeah, they'll go for the Armed Wing here and kill my guy. Set, I go Grand Mole. I just want to bounce this back, but they book me. They draw back into the Greffer, which I Wing Blast. They just kill my Grand Mole. Playing around Gores here. I think they set Hamster? Yeah. So we have Mali. I top back Plague, so I think I want to use this in a Synchro play. So I go for Dark End, figure this will out both the monsters. I do know there's a Greffer though, so they might be able to do something, but they just scoop there. Which might have been a bit premature, but we were in a very, very strong position, but they didn't know that, so... yeah, I don't know. That was a little early for them to be scooping there. Anyway, game 2, they're going to go first. So they start with Charge, pretty good. Don't mill anything that great though. They go Card Trooper, set Mirror. I draw Cross Porter. Here I consider ramming the Cross Porter, but ultimately I decide to Stratus because I want something to use Wing Blast with. So I get Ocean just to get Miracle live. They draw because I killed the Trooper. They find Deep Prison for turn. They set it. They set the Raikou. They pass. I end phase Wing Blast the new back row. I know they have a Raikou, so I definitely want to use this. I find Dark Calling. I'm just going to hit in and try to use up their Raikou, which I will succeed in doing. They move all Vayu, which is good for them. So I just set the Porter. They go Rhoda for Greffer. Here they make a kind of weird play that seems very all-in. The one thing I don't understand about this is why they didn't make like a Dark End Dragon to at least out the set monster. Because now I get a free search. They decided to like try to steal with Goyo instead. And it was just a big commitment to use Burial like that so early, when there was just no way they were hitting game. Either way, I will drop Gores. So then I think they will just pass here. I'll go. I decide to Miracle. I make a little bit of a cocky play here. I just switch everything to attack. In hindsight, I should have left one of these in defense, but I was feeling really strong. So I just decided to play it risky, and I will get punished by Mirror. Yeah. Realistically, I was going to out all their monsters anyway, so there was no reason to do it like that. But I Aqua Dolphin to check their hand. I know they have Brain Con. They set a monster, so I'm just going to bounce it with the Grand Mole. And then I think in main 2, I Aqua Dolphin, because I'm pretty sure it's like a Raikou. I've already seen a Hamster, but just in case I drop the Sork. And I kill it. Now we've got Dark Calling live. I made a big mistake here. When I was summoning Sork, my brain was just like on autopilot, and I banished my only Fiend, which was really dumb because I had the Dark Calling. So anyway, they're going to Brain Con my Sork and use it to out itself. Then they're going to set the new Raikou. I decided to just not hit into it. I set the now dead Dark Calling. They just kill my Dolphin. Okay, they're going for another Vayu play. I have the Mirror here, though. I think they should have popped the back row, probably. And they set the Oppression Pass. I draw Dust Shoot, which is useless. They draw Book of Moon, which is sort of useless. I draw Wing Blast. We're just passing back and forth. I guess he could have booked here to stop me from resolving Prisma, but I can't say for sure if that was the right play. So now I at least have a Fiend engrave for the Dark Calling that I have set that's been dead this whole time since I misplayed. They go Sirocco. They pass. That was a mistake. They should have attacked because Mirror Force was gone. Yeah, what are you playing around here? Deep Prison? I just decided to thin out my deck a little more. Maybe I shouldn't have, because drawing Big Piece wouldn't necessarily be terrible here. My Brain Con, which would have been game, gets Judgmented. So then I'm like, alright, we're going to Wing Blast the Sirocco and just try to attack for game, but they use the book. So main 2, I do this just to thin out my deck of bricks. And I think they Oppression, which I don't know why. This was probably a mistake to use Oppression like this. Because now they can't use it again, right? Which means I'm just going to flip up Dark Calling next turn and win the game. So this was a kind of strange set. A lot of mediocre play on both sides. We both kind of screwed up a bit, but yeah, we win with Dark Gaia there. We have one more replay. It's against Joy Boy, who's a teammate of mine. We're just playing a casual little test match last night. I think he was on Lightsworn, a little bit different, I think, than his tournament build. He's definitely made changes. So I open up a really sick hand, and I'm going first. So we go for the Convert Contact. Probably should have Future Fusioned first to reduce the chances of drawing, like, Mally or whatever Garnet I would have sent. So slight misplay there, but it's inconsequential. I set Sangan. Should have normal summoned this. I know he's playing Lightsworn probably. It's his favorite deck. Plus we have the Trag in hand, which means we could drop it and then search something to like steal his guy with. So that was a massive throw, I think, setting the Sangan there. And then I'm going to get Dust Shooted. He also mills a wolf. So yeah, that went pretty well for him. He decides to Dust Shoot back the mole, but then I just research it with the Foolish. So that's what happened there. I put the wolf back to his hand. I just pass. So yeah, this is getting kind of rough for me. Fortunately, I'm going to have an Ab-Zero coming down, and I can make another one with Miracle. And Ab-Zero is really strong against Lightsworn. So I'm just going to attack his guy. Here, I think I play into this Torrential kind of badly. Because I didn't know he was on Torrential. His last list was not main decking it, so I just assumed there was no Torrential. So I'm just going to have to Miracle after the Torrential to make sure I don't die to something dumb like JD. So he goes for Wolf, stacks for Brio. And then in end phase, he's going to mill the Wolf here because of the stacking it with Plague. I draw Dust Shoots, probably not live for a while here. I should have left this Trag in defense because I just forgot about the Necro Gardener or something. I set the Dust Shoot. He draws the Wolf, which is rough. He's just going to kill my guy. Yeah, there was no reason to take that damage there. Now I'm like unnecessarily low, but I top deck another Miracle. So I can get the Ab-Zero that was bounced, and then can answer his whole field here with the Granwall. Draws Raikou. I have Dust Shoot and standby, and I think he just scoops at this point. Yeah. So that was an interesting one. A bit back and forth. Game 2, I opened really bad. And he opens, like, kind of good, I'm not going to lie. Resolves a recharge, then Dust Shoots me, so now my hand's just totally dead. And then he draws Charge for turn, and then he mills a Wolf off the charge, and I just scoop even though I have the Crow. I'm just kind of salty at that point. I'm like, alright, you got me, bro. That's a nice one. So here, I think I oversided in this matchup. In games 2 and 3, I felt like I was drawing too many side deck cards. Here's kind of an example. I've got like these two back row that I sided in that don't really do anything here. Should have maybe just been bottomless instead. Probably would have been better. I set them both. He blind spaces was the Mind Crush, and I chain it calling Lila. But he doesn't have one. I still get the hand knowledge though, and the card I discard is like the worst card in my hand, I think. I don't know. The only one I really didn't want to discard was the Miracle Fusion. So I at least see his hand, since he doesn't discard. He's going to go Sidra over my guy, set some cards. I'm like, if I Miracle here, I can make him pop it with the Raikou and trade with his whole field, which isn't bad. I know it's Wolf Celestia, so his hand's pretty dead. I see the Light Imp, which is game winning this game. Obviously, a blowout side deck card. I decided to go with the big piece. I flip the Light Imp and then attack. In case it's Raikou. I know this set card is torrential, so I'm kind of playing around it this whole time too. So we're just hitting in. We set the Wing Blast. No Fear Heavy because we still have Starlight. He procs his own torrential here. We set a Cross Border. He's going to hit into it with Groth. We get the good one. We put the back row back to top, and we go Mali, Caius. He just scoops at this point. So, yeah, Light Imp kind of soloing that game pretty well. So anyway, those were the matches. I thought they were pretty interesting. Definitely didn't play perfectly, but the deck did reasonably well, I think. So anyway, let's just move on to discussing the deck list. Alright, here we have arrived at the deck list portion of the video. So, as you can see, there's a few changes I made. We cut out the Divine Neos because we weren't on Alias, and I didn't read that card. We trimmed to one Caius. We removed stuff like Dad and Return from the Different Dimension. I think we put Ocean in. I don't think we were on that before. So yeah, a few changes, just sort of optimization stuff to get it working. Overall, I think the deck did pretty well. I've been really impressed with the Neo-Spacian engine in general. I think it's actually very slept on. It's got a lot of potential. Just being able to play a draw engine itself is really strong. Like anything that can benefit from setting up the graveyard also very nice. Grand Mole is just independently a really strong card that's searchable with this engine. Having all these different attributes is nice. Aqua Dolphin and Dark Panther are both pretty useful too in certain situations. It really depends though. I think anything that plays Armonite, or could conceivably play Armonite, could potentially run this deck. I mean, just on top of like the draw engine, being able to have a sort of second engine that plays its own like Rhoda and its own Stratos is really interesting as well. So yeah, I would say though that Dark Gaia itself just does not feel that great to me. I know I was memeing it up on the tier list like Dark Gaia is great, Dark Gaia is the best deck, but it just seems like there's no way to build a deck around Dark Calling that isn't just going to be strictly worse than Diva Hero. Like, this is kind of just the Diva Hero list. With or without the Neo-Spacians, it's just a Diva Hero list with no Divas, and the guy you make is worse than Ab-Zero. So it's like, why? What's even the point of Dark Calling? Like, I guess this is probably the better version of the deck to play, again, with or without the Neo-Spacians, but, like, the gimmicky OTK version is the only one that really makes any unique usage of Dark Calling in particular. So, I guess that's just where I'm at with this. Like, the Neo-Spacian stuff feels strong. I think it's definitely got a lot of potential for, like, applications in other decks as an engine. However, Dark Calling and Dark Gaia is just always going to be like much worse than regular Diva Hero. So if you want to win, play Diva Hero. That's my advice, I guess. That being said, it was a fun segment to do, and I had a lot of fun playing this deck and building this deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.